For the first 10 years, we had different neighbors here. And the first company that was here did work for Bell South. They set up telephone poles. The men who worked there had about 16 trucks on the property. They would come at about 8 o'clock in the morning, turn the trucks on, let them run for a minute or two, and then leave. They would do their work. They would come back during the day, and by 5 o'clock, everything was completely silent. A year ago, in October of 2007, a Russian trucking company bought that property, which is behind me, with the small office building and the large shed, and then 2 more acres of property. They bulldozed all the trees that had been the barrier, the buffer for our subdivision. They bulldozed every single one of them, and we're going to leave it that way, but the Planning Commission required them to put in this 4-foot high berm, and then they were supposed to put 4-foot high trees on top of it, but they only put 2-foot high little bushes on it. So unfortunately, for about the next 5 years, we won't really have much of a barrier. What they do is they work at night. During the day, it's quiet here, but starting at about 7 to 9 p.m., the trucks come in. They're offloaded, or they're left here on the property with their generators running to keep the fruit and vegetables that they transport, fresh. They transport for buy low. Originally, when they were at the I think it was called the Board of Appeals for Land Use, they said all they were going to do was leave their trucks on the property and it would be totally quiet. It was just a parking lot. That was it. Well, they have generators right now. There are 2 generators going. Sometimes there will be as many as 3 or 5 trucks here on the property running the whole time. And they'll come in on Friday evening and they won't leave until 5:30 in the morning on Monday morning. So we've got this noise and the stink and everything from... Right now the wind is blowing, I believe, away from us. When it's blowing toward us, which is pretty normal, we get all the smell down in our backyard and all the way down to the lake in the subdivision.
The fumes.
The fumes from the generators. And it isn't so much the loudness of the generators, but it's the vibration. And this land is sloped down to where their generators for the refrigerator units are at the same height as our second floor, so that the vibrations go above the berm and right into our home and our master bedroom wall. You feel it, you can feel the vibration in the wall. It's just very irritating. It's very difficult to sleep.
I think the whole thing's going to change the water flow here. You thinking they're going to put a body shop over here?
That's on that lot. That's what they've got planned, is a body shop and a repair shop for automobiles.
So what's your take on this whole situation?
A little upset about it because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize they were going to put a body shop over here. Mm-hmm. Been here 29 years, so I don't know what that'll do to the value of the property here.
Well, it makes a lot of noise. It disturbs people's serenity of where they're living. You know, all of us work hard, or have retired and did work hard, and it's just disturbing. If you notice, when you drive in to the community, there's a big noise ordinance sign, and all of us here kind of police each other, to the point that we even one of the neighbors got rid of a rooster because it was disturbing the next door neighbor's peace. She's retired and doesn't sleep well at night. You can hear it all the way over here, which you can see is quite a distance away, even with the doors and windows all closed.
We've heard a lot in the land use meetings about incompatible uses or compatibility issues.
Right.
I mean, would you classify this as an example of...
Right, and I think it illustrates that you can't take simple broad strokes to these issues, because there are plenty of types of businesses that could be located on that particular piece of property that would have no impact to the neighborhood. But when you talk about changing things like operating hours or the volume of business activity and that kind of thing, that's when the adverse impact can come. So it is an example of how two neighbors, two parties, each hoping to have some degree of certainty that what they're attempting to do and the utilization they're attempting to achieve out of their investment, are finding that there's some tension that neither of them bargained for, and it's in my opinion, it's possible to have some better regulatory environment that would allow both of them to go forward in a way that would allow the neighbors to have the peace and quiet and their investment be protected and the property values and their ability to sell their home for a good price one day, and on the other side of the coin for the small businessman to be able to grow his business at the rate that he can. And